Hi everybody, it's Kelly, Black Thread Studio, August 4th, 2023, and I'm popping in to say hi. I'm excited. As you all know, I've kind of been on this journey, or if you don't know, I have so much to say, I don't know if I should just jump in, but the reason I'm here today is because there's some things coming up that I thought would be fun to share with everyone. And one of those things is happening today, which is it's a Friday and I took off work. Hooray for me. And I'm going to meet my friend Rita. And when I get there, we're going to do kind of a show and tell with Rita. She's amazing. That's how I'll tell you. And I wanted you to all meet her and get to know her a little bit better and see what a creative soul she is. I'm so happy and lucky that she's come into my life, and we'll kind of talk about that when I get over there. But I just want to kind of do a little introduction and tell you surprise, because I'll be popping back in from time to time. As we go on, if you don't know me, I do a lot of all kinds of different hand stitching and machine stitching, which is my passion, but I'm a frustrated stitcher because I still have to work full time at a job that I've been doing for 37 years, and I'm an optician. And although I love my work and I see the value in it, I've been a frustrated stitcher my whole life, because with a 9-to-5 job, it doesn't leave a whole lot of time for stitching when you have other family commitments and things that you want to do. So I've been trying to learn how to balance my life a little bit better. For those of you who it's a really heavy downer thing to have to talk about, if I ever bring up or feel like I'm going to talk about my son Sam, I'll let you know. I'm learning a lot as I've been going through a grieving process, and I think that it might benefit some people, and I will talk about that at a different time. I was determined that I was going to find the beauty in grieving, and I think it's a long, tough road, but I think I'm succeeding, and that comes from the help of God, prayer, friends, family, and stitching. So that's why we're all here. Anyway, I'm going to be headed over. I'm leaving in a few minutes to go see Rita, and I thought I would sit out here on my Instagram. I've been sharing my grape arbor. This is the first year it's really come to fruition and started almost covering the whole arbor and giving me shade so I can lay in my hammock. And I just feel like there's a lot I want to share with you and tell you. So we are going to start today with going to visit Rita. I will tell you a few snippets that are coming up that I thought would be fun to share with you. I also have been posting my Posy hexagon quilt, and I had this idea to do a crocheted edge, and I've been asking one of the doctors I work with and one of the techs crochet, and I've been asking them for a year or two, do you think you could just show me how to crochet an edge? And then I kept thinking, am I going to add another stitching thing to my, to my sewing, cross stitch, quilting, embroidery? I was like, no, I cannot add one more thing. Well, one day I stopped into a local yarn shop called Cream City Yarn, and it is the cutest little store, and I signed up for their crochet beginning crochet class, and that will be the next 2 Fridays coming up. So I wanted to share that with you. I am going to do a crocheted edge for my Posy Hexi quilt, which I've been working on for a few years. Somebody asked me the other day, oh, Angela, if I mention people that are on Instagram, it's because they give me something. I get so much joy out of following their Instagram pages, and you can tell they're just like the best souls in this world. So if I mention somebody and you want to hop over and try to find them, Angela, I think it's narrow boating. I'll find out. Anyway, Angela, asked me how long it takes me to make a quilt because it seems like I'm working on a lot of projects. Well, I've been working on this one for probably 3 years. I only do a few things here and there when I can work it in. But my dream was to have it for the hammock back there, and I'm going to be crocheting that edge. I'm finally getting to a place where I can sandwich it together and finish that. And then in September, there is the, I need to get my facts straight before I talk to you guys. They changed it. I think it's the Great Wisconsin Quilt Show. The Great Wisconsin Quilt Show is in Madison. It has been for years and years and years. Founded by Nancy Zeman, who sadly passed away, I think, a handful of years ago now. And then they changed the name to the Great Wisconsin Quilt Show. I am going to be going there. I haven't been for probably 9 or 10 years because it runs Thursday through Saturday. They're not open on Sundays, and I always had to work those days. But this year I asked for, or that's also my anniversary weekend usually with Jim. Our anniversary is September 6th, so sometimes it's fallen on that weekend. But this year I took Friday off. I know Rita's going, but I think she's going with someone else. I invited her to go with me. We'll find out for sure. I know she's going, but I hope to share a lot of that with you when I go to the quilt show. And then in October, Rita and I are going to see the K Facet Brandon Mabley lecture. They're going to be in a local quilt store here doing a class. We didn't get into the class, but we did get into the lecture for a Friday night. That's going to be mid-October. So I'm hoping that these things will keep me motivated to share some things, because I don't know why, it's just what I do. You guys, I miss having a quilt group, a cross-stitch group, a stitching group, anything. It's just hard because they all meet on times when I'm working. And for me, Black Thread Studio is my my stitch group, my stitch guild. So anything that you guys want to talk to me about, share your stitching, please, please do it. I get so much from seeing you on Instagram. It's almost like I'm like, whoa, like there's too much, because I love it all. I love cross stitching. I love quilting. I love hand quilting. There's just so much that I love to do and don't have the time. But that's what I think I can share, is just us carving out time to do this together, and what we can share and learn from each other. And I cannot wait to learn how to crochet that edge for my quilt. So you can see some things haven't changed. I'm just chit-chatting away. So I'm gonna get ready. I'm gonna head over to Rita's, and I will pick up back there. And I hope you come back and stay tuned, because Rita is just a joy. And we might pop in and talk about our friend Sarah. And I don't know, we'll just see what happens. We're gonna have a lot to talk about. So I'll see you over at Rita's, okay? Bye. Hey everybody, I'm here with Rita. Hello. I made it to her house. Yay. To her pad. And Rita, do you want to tell how we met? And yes. I've already kind of told everyone how excited I am for them to meet you. Oh, and well, when I got here, Rita, okay, so those of you that don't know, Wisconsin, we're known for cheese, and Rita doesn't like cheese curds, but a true friend buys you cheese curds.
Yes, cheese curds. And has
cheese curds here.
She's gonna eat them all or take them home, either one.
Okay, I have to move around. I have my security stuff in front of my bosoms here, so I don't look like I'm all. Okay, so.
Well, Kelly and I were originally Facebook friends, acquaintances, and I lived in Columbus, Ohio.
How long ago do you think that was, actually?
Oh, it was probably 3 years ago.
No.
4 years ago.
No, it was before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah, 4 years ago. And so we just knew each other on Facebook. And Kelly was the one that got me back started again in cross stitch with her work on the Pilgrim long
Yep.
dog sampler. And I'm like, oh, please don't tempt me. I don't need another hobby. Well, now I have another hobby, and I finished my Pilgrim, and I'll show it to you a little later. Anyway, years go by, and my family all lives here, and I made the decision to, at my age, older age, come back to Wisconsin. And so I got here and I texted Kelly and said, guess what? Now we can be real in-person friends.
And this is actually, I feel like I've known Rita my whole life, but this is actually only the third physical time.
Yes,
We
that
met
we've
for-
seen each other
Yeah,
in
we met
person.
for lunch, and then I came one other time now today.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But we have contact every day, texting,
Yeah,
Instagram.
yeah.
She introduced me to Instagram. I was kind of dragging my feet, and now I spend way too much time on
We
Instagram.
created a
But
monster.
I know
We created a monster with Instagram, floss tube, and cross stitching.
Yes.
Yes.
So, but I'm very thankful because it has opened up a new world, a re-interest in cross stitch. I had kind of lost my interest in it, and Kelly has helped resurrect that. So I'm very
Okay.
thankful.
Well, I'm going to ask you a few things because she kind of slid right by a few things here that I'll go back
Okay.
to. Okay. I don't know who found who on Facebook first, but it was a mutual of, quilting, and then Rita would show her artwork.
Oh,
And I
yes.
was like, oh my gosh, this girl is so talented. Plus, your Facebook picture, your hair was a little bit curlier. You had that red lipstick on and those really cool glasses. And when I saw that picture, I was like, that's my kind of girl. We're going to be friends.
I've aged a little since then. Wait.
So anyway, her art was so unbelievable, and the things that you would post. Well, during the pandemic, so we just really, going back and forth, liking each other's, and liking and appreciating each other's work. Well, then during the pandemic, I had, and I'm not going to talk a lot about it because I still am going to do something with it
Right.
someday soon as I'm getting through this. But I wrote a kid's story I've talked about before. Was it called the Lake Ripley Monster? I had it.
Yes.
And about my grandkids, Hadley and Reed, on being on Lake Ripley. I know I'm cutting myself off, I'm sorry, but I'd rather you see Rita. And I had this picture in my head of Rita's artwork illustrating the little book. So I messaged you and said, would you do this? And you said, sure. Well, then unfortunately you got sick and things went south for a while.
Yeah, and wasn't able to finish it. But I remember I did like the cover.
You did the
photo.
cover, and I didn't bring it today because I am gonna
Right.
expand on that some other day because I do have the story. I did send it to a couple people to see about publishing it, and everyone said the story was too long. And by the time I had to cut it down,
It's really not too long.
by the
It's
time
just
I
a
cut it
couple
down, well,
pages.
even my daughter Paige
I
said,
remember her saying that.
to read a story to kids at night, it was just too long. Like, you just want to read it and get done with it. Anyway, Rita did the most fabulous, I kind of told her what I wanted, but the most precious, it was a drawing, right?
Yeah, a drawing.
Did you use
with,
colored pencils?
Yeah,
or
I
what'd you
used
use?
colored pencils, and with the dragon, and
Yeah.
Reed and Hadley were in a
A
boat.
boat, yeah. And so anyway, someday I'm going to do something with that. It's going to be a story. My idea was to do a quilt pattern,
That would be adorable.
and then I got this thing, why don't I do a cross stitch sampler to go with it and the story. So I thought, wouldn't it be something to buy a trifecta? They had a quilt pattern, a cross
That
stitch,
would be
and
so
a book.
cute.
Okay,
But-
so maybe someday.
Yes, and after I got sick and told Kelly that I didn't have the energy to continue, and I had just sent her I think an email with a picture of it, but I had kept my original hand drawings, and then probably it was about 2 years later, and you said, do you still have those? And I said, well, of course. You know, I had saved them. I don't throw anything away. And so I sent my originals to Kelly.
Oh, and I have them. They're in safekeeping. So
Yeah, but I was just so honored that. I mean, I never drew at all. I took up drawing, well, years after my retirement as just something different to do. That was on my bucket list. Another one was playing violin, and I think I was more successful at the drawing than the violin.
Do you know I bought a cello this last year?
You told me.
I was just doing, it's called Cello Discovery. I downloaded the app, and then I did post about it, but I broke my shoulder March 1st, and I couldn't stitch for a while, and I haven't started doing.
Well, they say learning a musical instrument just exercises different parts of your brain. Right. It's just really good for you.
So, okay, so well, we're gonna stitch today. That's our goal. So we won't chit chat too long. But I did want to introduce you to Rita. At some point, we talked a little bit about her art before we started. She's not going to show any art today, but I do want you to know what an artist she is, and maybe at some point there's something we can show.
Yeah.
Okay, otherwise, and most of your quilts are still back in Ohio? Waiting to be quilted, or?
Yes, I have my good friend Dave. He still lives back in Columbus, although he is originally from Milwaukee, and we met at Nationwide Insurance, and then after I got the boot from Nationwide Insurance, he did too, so we became friends and our mutual misery. Anyway, he decided he wanted to learn how to quilt. Well, he bought himself a long arm, and he does the most fabulous long arm quilting, and he does all of my quilts and does not charge me a thing. So what a great friend
that's
he
unbelievable.
Is.
Yeah.
So he has a stack of quilts that I've made over the years, and last year, after I knew I was moving back to Milwaukee, I wanted to make quilts for all of my great nieces and nephews and each set of parents. So last year I made 10 quilt tops all before the month of June, gave them all to Dave. And I know, and he quilted them all and put the binding on all of them. And then I had an enormous suitcase with the quilts in them and put them on the plane when I came here for Christmas. Anyway, they were the hit of the day.
Oh, I'm sure they were.
Yes, that was fun.
Yeah.
And I haven't made a quilt since then. I would kind of...
Well, my brother commissioned me make that quilt I'm working on right now. And I think people just don't understand it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, a lot of effort.
Yeah. So anyway, all right, so I think you have a few quilt things to show, but mostly today is cross stitch?
Yes, most of today is cross stitch, but I am working on the animal album by Kim McLean, and I have a number of blocks done, so I pressed those up so I could show them.
Okay.
And then all of the cross stitch I have has all been completed since I moved here in February. So I'll show you that.
We created a monster.
Yes.
Okay, so, and this is what we didn't make clear is when we connected on Facebook. Just from a couple different posts, I figured out that you were I figured out you were from Wisconsin, right? Because we were talking about some of this knowing some of this same areas or whatever. And then at Christmas time, she posted something about being by a what church were you by?
We were driving. We were out for a drive, my sister and brother-in-law, and we drove past St. Rita's church. And I took a picture of it and said, "Oh, look, St. Rita's." And Kelly's like, "Oh, you're so close, I could hug you." And I said, "Yes, well, soon you'll be able to." But I knew I was moving here, but didn't tell her.
Yeah, she knew she was coming back, but didn't. Yeah. So anyway, here she is. Okay, so we're gonna go behind us.
Yes.
You have so this is going to be a mix of cross stitch and quilt. So I know a lot of, and Rita's watches a lot more floss tube than I did.
Yes.
So you know a lot of them, but I know some will separate floss tube from quilting. You know, they'll separate it because some people don't do both.
Right.
But we're going to do a a little bit of everything today.
It won't be. It's mostly cross stitch.
It's just the appreciation of stitching and being with friends.
Hand applique.
And being here.
and it's the movement of slow stitching, sitting down. And I do have a wonderful machine, and a lot of my Christmas quilts I did do on machine, but I prefer the hand piecing.
I do too. I prefer just doing any, they call it slow stitching. Okay.
All right.
This is, wait, because I forgot about this. This is kind of like being, a little bit like Brenda and Laura in the cereal starter. Brenda and Laura.
No, I don't know them.
Oh, girls.
Should I know them?
Rita is, Yep.
Okay, you'll have to introduce me to that.
Well, they always have like little gifts from people. You know.
Okay. Oh.
Rita.
Yes.
Okay, so anyway, Rita has a little gift for me.
I know.
So this is what Rita doesn't drive.
Because she drives so far. I don't have a car, so bless her heart, she drives all the way over here. So I have a little gift bag for her. It's in this gorgeous Care Kit with Love from St. Camelia's. They were passing out stuff to the old people here at my apartment. I got one. So there's a little present.
Isn't that nice? So look, I get to open something. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, goodness gracious, girl. Wait a minute.
Yes.
Oh, and you know what I brought her? Cherries. That was it. Well, wait, last time I brought you a fern. I bought the same fern. Look what you did.
I know.
I brought us a fern.
Well, there's something else.
Oh, there is in there. Oh, gosh.
Yes.
Anyway, I think both of our ferns died.
No, mine's still living.
Oh, mine died, so.
Mine's on the balcony.
So what did we learn from that?
Yes.
No more plants, just stitching
no more
items.
Plants.
Okay, what's this? Let's start with this.
These are the cross stitches that I finished, and I'm never going to use the pattern again.
Oh.
So you're my cross stitch pal. So I'm passing them on to you.
You don't know how excited I am.
I know. And if you don't like them, you can give them to another friend.
Should we talk about Sarah?
Sure.
Okay.
Sarah, our English friend, she's so proper, and when she responds to Kelly's
Wait, she ain't really proper.
Oh, she is, but she speaks like Shakespeare, and I'm like, duh, that looks okay. She just, I wish I could be Sarah.
Sarah Stonehouse on Instagram, and Sarah, well, do you want to know how I met Sarah? Is this going to be all about chit-chatting? Well, Sarah was following me on Instagram, but you know, sometimes when you say bless your heart, it's kind of like a derogatory thing, like people in the South.
Southern people.
Yeah, but I really mean bless her heart.
Bless your heart.
Bless her heart. She is so sweet. Anyway, isn't it amazing what social media does?
I know.
The people that you connect with.
I know.
Just and what stitching does. So Sarah was following me on Instagram, and she would always say really, like you said, proper, like proper sweet, like, because, you know, she's English, so she has that proper. And it was, she had been following me for a while, I think, and she sent me a private message. Sam had been gone for months, and she sent me a message and said, makes me want to cry. No, I won't cry. That said, basically it was, oh my gosh, Kelly, I had no idea. And the way she reached out to me, and I mean, not even knowing her and being across the pond, as we say, her soul reached out and grabbed mine. Yeah. Just like yours did on Facebook. And anyway, so Sarah and Rita now know each other because, you know, they're both friends of mine.
I know, and she's so sweet. She follows my stitching on Instagram, and she always has a very nice compliment, and I find that encouraging, and I really appreciate how kind she is.
Isn't that what's special about all of the stitching world is how we uplift each other? And so anyway, hey, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hey, girl.
We wish you were here.
Yeah, so if Sarah needs any of these, then I'll pass them on to her.
Very good.
Except here's the thing. You and Rita stitch so fast.
Oh, she stitches.
You guys get things done right away. So,
yeah, she's an in-hand stitcher. I'm a hoop stitcher.
Oh, and I stitch with a hoop too.
Yeah.
And then I have also a stand. But maybe sometime when we actually do a floss tube, we can talk more about that. Okay, but let's see. So this one is
Yes, Bird
Bird
and
and
Bow.
Bow.
That's a scarlet letter.
And all of these are, do you want to say what your Instagram is? So that they can go
it's
see.
just Rita Minameyer. RitaMinameyer.
Rita has, yeah, go look at her stuff. I have wanted this one. And wanted it and wanted it.
Hands Across the Sea.
Yep.
Aren't they beautiful patterns?
Yep.
I love the booklet.
Okay, let's see. Oh, I feel, I'm so excited. Wait a minute. Walgreens is calling me about my prescription. And I don't know.
There.
Did that could have blacked out the whole thing.
I hope not.
Okay, Byron Blackbird, you just finished this one not too long
finished the
ago.
Artsy Housewife. She has some new patterns that came out this month, and I love her things. They're
So
cute.
not only can you see these on her Instagram, but you're going to show us
I'm
now.
going to show the
Okay.
finished pieces.
Okay, so we'll hurry
Yes.
up.
The Swan Garden Kathy Barrick, and I was excited after I saw it on Instagram, so I went to order it, and I got 2. So this is an extra. You can have it.
I'm sure nobody else does that.
No, I never
Okay,
get 2.
and then this one, oh.
Yes, I love
it
the
that-
Wishing Thorn.
Yeah, she's great. I love
I
her
know
floss
her
tubes too.
patterns are just beautiful,
Yeah. So,
nice and big.
I mean, there are floss tubes. I know you and Sarah watch a lot more than I do, just because I'm working, and I watch things on my lunch. But you know, I can't. Even though I love the floss tubes, what really motivates me is watching Arna and Carlos. If you're fans of them, and they're knitters, and I don't even
Oh,
knit.
yes, you introduced them to
Well,
me.
I met them, which
Wow.
I'll talk about. I met them last November. And then Kate, the last homely house. So, but I do, you know, I could go on and on about floss tubes,
know.
but once you start naming one, then you feel like you have to name them all.
Right.
So if you watch the floss tubes, they
Yeah.
talk about all of the goods and the favorites, and everybody kind of just has something special
Yes.
to add.
And
All right.
then the other thing you introduced
Oh.
me to is floss drops, and Kelly gave some to
Sorry,
me that
I
she
missed those.
purchased, and I
have a lot
love
of-
them, but they are expensive, and I thought, gee,
Did you make these?
Yes, I thought I could make my own.
Oh, you
So
did.
I did. I got the punch for the little tags, and
That's my
there
style
we
right
go.
there.
So I'm switching all of my floss over.
Look, I'll show this for Jim, because you know I've been showing off working on my patio so much
Yes.
this year. This is the striped awning I want over my back door on my patio.
Yes.
It would look just like that, so I have to show Jim.
Good.
Okay. All right, are you ready to
Right.
hop over?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'm going to come with you.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. This is going to be Rita doing show and tell. Right, Rita?
Yep.
Okay, I got to move. Okay. I'm not sure how to do this, Rita. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. I wanted you to tell us about the quilt that's on the wall.
Oh, my quilt on the wall. I made that when I was going through a very painful divorce, and I went and took a class at a quilt shop in Columbus that is long gone. It was called the Glass Thimble. And so I made all of these hand applique from the book Paper Piece, L.A. Zakavage, that's how you pronounce her last name. Big hand applique.
Okay, okay.
But paper cuts in plenty. So I made all of the blocks, and I was actually going to hand quilt it. And I started hand quilting it, and I thought, I won't live long enough to do hand quilting. And so then I had never done machine quilting before, and I took another class and learned how to machine quilt, and I did this on my regular domestic machine, and there we go. All machine quilted, heavily machine quilted. And it's after I finished it, it's always been on a wall in my house.
I love it.
I do too.
I love it.
Blocks,
Okay, hang on. You started before me. I had to flip-flop and turn the camera. Okay, so what are you showing us first?
Animal album, Kim McLean. This is one of the border blocks, and I'm using mostly Cave Collective, that you might see maybe some Amy Butler snuck in there. I have a lot of her fabric. This is the pig block.
You know what you should do? Well, I'm thinking I want to have a little cave project started. I wonder when we go meet them, don't you kind of feel like you want them to like autograph one of your blocks?
Oh, wouldn't that be awesome?
Do you think we should try to do that?
I think so.
Okay.
And then this is the Anteater block.
These are so much fun. Okay, so what size are these blocks? Do you know? Are they like 20?
They'll be 18 inches square.
Okay.
And the fabric is the Cave dot.
Yeah, I love the background. How many blocks are there altogether?
Oh gosh, there's quite a few border blocks. I think there's probably 16 big blocks.
Okay, and it's Kim McLean.
Kim McLean.
Animal
Album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this was the first one I did, the elephant. I liked how I fussy cut the ear. And I like pink too.
When I was little, I collected elephants.
Oh, you did?
Yes. And so would the elephant be my favorite?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a favorite?
Oh gosh, probably the elephant so far.
Yeah, I like the elephant too.
And then squirrel.
Who doesn't love a good squirrel?
And I do needle turn.
Yes. Maybe that's something we can do someday.
Yeah.
Is needle turn applique.
Mm-hmm.
I do it too, but I have to tell you, yours is exquisite. If anyone wants to look really close. Now, Rita, if someone got this close to my work, I would slap your hand.
Oh.
But look, I will say, okay, here's my favorite cave fabric in the moose.
Moose. I forget what it's called again. I've got
Is it the Aborigine dot? Or
no,
it's an older. Yeah, that's not the average.
Yeah, and I've got a lot of old cave.
Yeah.
When I worked at the quilt shop in Columbus, and so I have a lot of the out of print things, which I'm glad to see a lot of they're coming in with new colorways.
Yeah, this one too that you fussy cut all these out of.
Yeah.
That one, I've shown this quilt before. I did those 3 kind of nesting angels. I used that fabric for my angels. I love the moose.
Yeah. I always have trouble with the birds, though, getting that beak to come to a little point.
Okay.
Sometimes they're not.
So if there is
pointy.
someone that's watching that does do hand applique or wants to try, what method do you use? There's so many different methods, but what do you do?
I use freezer paper, and I trace all of the pieces, cut out the freezer paper, iron it onto the fabric, and then I cut it out just 1/4 of an inch around each piece and mark the seam line with a friction
You do?
pen.
Okay.
I do.
And then
because
you
it's
just...
going to get turned under, and I know all the horror stories about it, but I use it for applique because it gets turned under and you're not going to see it. And I do have a light box that I lay the fabric on, and I make marks where all of the pieces are going to go, and then just go for it.
Do you pressure edges back or anything
No,
fall in your line? You just do the
long Milner needle and just turn them under as I'm going.
Okay.
And that was the method that I was taught when I was doing this quilt.
Okay. Do you match your thread color, or do you use a neutral?
No, I match the thread color.
Okay.
I have I've got the big bobbin case
Okay.
with all the masterpiece,
Okay.
superior masterpiece.
Okay.
Bobbins.
And you use cotton
Yes.
thread? Okay.
So that's all the blocks that I have done. I have another one that's prepared, ready to go. But I
Okay,
haven't
that's
started
fantastic.
On it.
Okay.
But are you ready for the cross stitch?
Yes.
No.
Are you okay standing?
Yeah.
Do you care if I
No.
if I sit?
No, you can
Is this
sit
a good
if you
position?
like.
Okay, here we go.
So I'm doing what I have works in progress. And then this is Amelia's.
Okay, Rita, officially, if you're
Yes.
going to be official, you have to say whips.
Do what?
If you're going to be official, you have to say whips. I have
Whip?
whips. Whips.
Okay.
Works in progress. Whips.
Whip. This is my newest whip.
Whip. See, get with the program.
Mary Amelia's Bird by Quaint Rose Needlework. And I just started this. And I use primarily 32 count.
Okay.
Because it's just easier for me to see. This fabric is Ancient Berlin linen, 32 count.
Good girl. I was going to ask you. See,
Yeah,
I wouldn't have been
Yeah.
on top of that to know.
I just
You know, I think the light is better when I'm standing over here.
Okay.
I can't be lazy and sit.
And then,
Isn't that okay? Let me get one more shot. And is this DMC?
yes.
Okay.
And then this is one of the Tyndale sister samplers. I'm still finishing it. This is Elizabeth's. And I struggled a little bit trying. I didn't have all of the floss I needed, so I tried substituting. And first I had a lighter pink, and Elizabeth's name didn't show up. So I'm almost.
I think you posted that,
Yeah, I
didn't
posted
you? Yeah,
that.
it looks really good.
So,
I love that red. And again, those are just DMC.
yep.
I don't know why. Yeah, it's not. I don't mean just DMC. I love
Yeah.
DMC.
And I do. I have used, and I have one here where I've used the over dyed, but just from a budget point of view. And I have a lot of DMC, and I find it easy to use.
So, are you really into using the floss drops? Are you
Yes.
putting everything on floss drops?
Yes, I'll show you
Okay.
where my floss drop supply is.
Oh.
And so then this is Swan Garden, Kathy Barrick, and it's my first entrance into using a dark fabric, and it's really hard.
Okay, can you lay that one down? Truly? Okay, I say this all the time, but I mean it. My heart actually pitter patters, like I can
I
feel
know,
my heart.
I mean, it's hard to do, but the effect is just gorgeous.
Oh, gosh. And what fabric was this? Do you know?
It's called Shadow.
By?
And when I looked at it on where I purchased it from, it looked like it had more purple in it, but
Yeah.
when mine came, it didn't.
Okay.
But that's okay.
Okay, and it's 32 count?
32 count.
Okay, and do you know who made this one? Who dyed it?
I think it's Weeks.
Okay.
And then
Man, oh
probably
man.
this one I've been working on for quite a while. This is Long Dog Samplers. This is Hoity Toity.
Oh. I was still mesmerized by
Oh,
this one.
okay.
Okay, wait, here's Hoity Toity. And I love the girl. What's her name? Is it she puts Jules, but what's her real name? Anyway,
Yeah, I don't remember
her
I
sense of
know.
humor and the way she writes
There you go,
things.
that English sense
Oh,
of
yeah,
humor.
yeah.
But I've been working on this. I find very difficult to do because of all of the thread changes, and the back is a nightmare. But you know,
Oh, let's see the back. Here we have a girl
it can't be helped.
willing to show the back. Yep. Hey, Rita. I'm amazed at how much stitching you've gotten done. Oh, I can tell. I'm gonna have to go grab my Pilgrim. Here, you keep getting the other one ready.
Okay.
Because I see your Pilgrim at the bottom.
Yes.
I'm just getting my Pilgrim here. So, okay.
So next up is Bird in Bow, which is the scarlet letter.
Gosh. And you know, everyone always says this, and it's true. Seeing them in person,
I know.
seeing them actually stitched is so much more of a wow.
I know.
I mean, the patterns are done beautifully in the photography, but you just don't get.
And then sometimes when I'm working on it, I'm like, I hate that color of floss, but you just keep on forging ahead. I did change the color from more like to more of a turquoisey color.
Oh, that is so cute.
Yeah. And this is on Vintage Country Mocha, 32 count.
Oh, you're good. Okay, you could do a floss tube. This, to me, when I first saw that, you know what that looks like?
What?
An M
Oh,
for your...
I thought it looked like something else, but
Herman
it's
Meyer.
more X-rated, so I won't say it.
We can say it.
No, I can't. And then
Okay.
next up we have completed
Oh.
Rosanna Tyndale, and this was just ivory 32 count linen, and I coffee stained it because I wanted it to
Yeah.
look more vintage.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
And again,
So-
her charts are just yummy.
I mean, and these aren't, they're all, I mean, you've got a lot here. So whenever you decide you're going to frame them or do them yourself, it's going to be a chunk. But here's what I'm going to say. For 32 count, I mean, I would imagine that they would just be so much bigger that it would be hard to get those framed. What am I trying to say? I mean, the 32 count,
Right.
I mean, they're beautiful.
Yeah, it's not a huge
And it's not, yeah.
piece. Well, I saw a woman posted a video because I'm not real good about doing the lacing and all, and I thought, anytime we see a picture of a real vintage, they're kind of
Yeah.
just mushed in
Yeah.
a frame, and so I might do that where you
We're just going to mush it in.
I'm just going to turn under the edge and get a frame and put it in like that.
Yeah.
And then it'll look
Well, a lot
more,
of people frame their own.
more
Yeah.
vintage. And then, here's our
Artsy.
bird.
Yep. I love her patterns.
And this was smoky white, and I coffee stained it a lot.
Okay. I get a really good picture when you lay it down. The colors.
And this has my first experience with overdyed.
Oh. What'd you use?
This is Colorworks, and then this is is that Weeks?
I don't know.
Yes.
I love that one.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me isn't just fall. I would just, have that one all the time.
Yeah, now that I see it all laid out, I really have cross-stitched
Oh.
quite a bit.
I'm
I
like
do clean and laundry and other stuff
what?
too.
You do?
Yeah, clean.
Did you say clean?
Clean? Yes, I cleaned yesterday just for you.
Okay, let's talk about Sarah for a minute. You know what she told me the other day?
What?
She actually she did laundry, and she said she actually likes doing laundry.
Well, I guess I don't mind it because you just throw it in, and my laundry room is down the hall.
Yeah, but in England, they
Oh,
take it out and they hang it on the line.
Oh, they do.
See, and she loves that, okay, granted the smell and the fresh air and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But if I had to do that, it would sit in my washer until it turned moldy.
Yeah, I'd buy new underwear before
Yeah.
I hang it outside.
Okay.
This
Look
is-
at that.
And I changed the color of the border because I didn't want to do the blue and the red.
Now, and see, that's not huge, and that's 32 count. So when you see someone who's stitched it on 40 or, God forbid,
they've
something
gotta be
smaller, they've got to be tiny and beautiful and gorgeous. But that is a really nice size.
It is.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
And then another wishing thorn. This is the Jane Parson,
Parsons.
1841. And yes, this I coffee dyed too. This was a vintage country mocha, and I additionally coffee stained it.
Oh, I love that. I said Parsons, but it's Jane Parson.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is the one where I made an unrecoverable error, and I couldn't.
Well, are you going to point it out, or are you just
No, because you could.
Well, why even bring it up?
Well, because I was so mad at myself.
Well, now you got to show me where it is.
I actually.
Not that I care. Now I'm just. Why do people want to talk about their mistakes?
I know. There should only be 3 stitches between the tree and the dog, and I made 4.
Oh, goodness gracious. Are you kidding
But
me?
it offset all of this, and my border didn't meet.
Okay, whatever.
I know. Isn't
Okay.
that everybody's like, yay, my border met like it was supposed to without fudging? People say that all the time.
Okay, well, I fudge everything, so no, and you know what I love are those checkerboard, the green checkerboard
Yeah.
flowers and those little teeny birds on top.
Mm-hmm.
And you gave me all these that you finished, so
Yes.
on the pattern, so thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, is this the ta-da?
This is the ta-da. This is what got
Well,
me.
wait, before you show yours, because yours
Okay.
is the finale. This is here, will you open mine? Because,
Yes.
okay, so well, this is what started it. I saw the Pilgrim, and I was going to visit Paige and my grandkids in Idaho, and I went to visit Cece from the Thread Gatherer, who's another friend who I adore. And hey, can you hold these up? I think who sent me that? I'll have to remember. Somebody. I'm sorry, but I don't remember. I kind of think I know, but okay, anyway. I went to see Cece, and I'm not purple. I don't do purple, but she had.
Those are beautiful.
I know some of these are DMC, but let me see which ones are CC's. Okay, so this one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that is called Smoke
Yep.
Chimney Sweep.
Yeah.
Chimney Sweep. Okay, so I saw this one, and it's almost like a eggplanty brownie purple. And so, do you know, she gifted me with all these threads to use.
How generous.
Tell me about it. So, and I'm still working on it. So I started this, and you saw it, and you started it. And here's, okay, how long ago was it? 2 or 3 years ago? 2 years ago?
Before the pen.
It was
2
during
years.
2 years ago.
2
Okay.
years ago.
So this is what I have done, and I'm mixing Cece's Chimney Sweep with some DMCs in lighter colors. And I've been working on the frog, so that's
And what
where I'm
count is
at.
your fabric?
36, I think. I do almost everything on 36, and that was a big piece that I bought and coffee stained myself. And I
How do you get it to be streaky though?
You roll it and twist it, and then you rubber band it.
Okay. I have to remember that. I've got some other pieces I want to do that too. Well, anyway, when I saw Kelly's Pilgrim,
Yes.
I'm like, oh my God. I had been making several attempts trying to get back into cross stitch, but I was using some old Ada cloth I had, and I thought, I'm just not feeling it. And then I saw that. I thought I had never used linen before. I'd always used Ada cloth. And so I bought the pattern and forged ahead, but I did stop for a while when you weren't posting on Facebook, and I knew something was wrong.
Yes.
And so I quit working on it, and I waited for you to come back. And then when you came back, I said, oh, okay, you're stitching again. I'm going to bring the Pilgrim back up. So it wasn't finished when I moved here. I finished it in February, the first month that I lived here. And
Goodness.
I was just so excited. I remember I posted it on the Long Dog site without ironing it. And I said, I don't care if it's wrinkled. Here it is. But it was just so much fun. And
when you lay it down, I'll do a close-up. But when I saw you last time, you had it done, except you were going back and doing like the little fill and things, right?
You know, I did some of the back stitching, but like where an ant is sitting here.
Yeah, or
and
like
there,
the spider. So you went back in.
and I did just what I wanted to. So not all of the back stitching is what from,
Well,
that's
this
on the
really
pattern.
just gets me going. And I love, okay, that says, what does it say? Dare to dream, the completion of my labors leaves me with a joyful heart. I loved that saying. What's your favorite animal in here?
Oh gosh, I just really love the crow.
Yeah, the crow's pretty awesome. I mean, they all are when you look at it. Well, because I'm working on the frog, I like the frog. And The horse makes me think of my sister Tracy.
Mhm.
Oh, look at I just noticed the fox, the way it's done with the
Yeah.
heart.
And I couldn't fit in the R and the M and I wasn't smart enough to figure out a smaller alphabet, so it only has R.
R.
But this was the year I started, 2021.
Okay, so you put the year you started, not
Right.
finished.
So it was about a year and a half, but then I made 13 quilts in the meantime and the hand applique and moved.
I think that would be being called a prolific stitcher.
Mm-hmm.
So, a round of applause for Rita.
Thank you.
That was fabulous.
Thank you.
That was fantastic. Okay, so now what are we gonna do?
Oh,
Are we gonna stitch?
I think so.
Okay, why don't we sit down and we'll say goodbye to the good folks for watching us.
Never to waste any space behind the door.
We forgot. Okay, here's your sewing room, right? Can I scan? Okay, Rita, I know you didn't want to talk about your artwork, but can we just say that these are things that you've done?
Yes, and I self-taught.
Yep. Okay, look how fun that is. Okay, let's see. Look at if you guys want any storage ideas. There's some fabric.
Yes, I don't, obviously it's the bedroom I don't sleep in.
Okay, Rita, can we talk about these?
What?
Because when I was following you on Facebook,
Yes.
there was a couple things you would post and I was like,
Oh.
is this lady kind of normal or isn't
You
she?
you mean Tiffany?
Yes.
Isn't she pretty?
Well, I'm not sure now that I see her again in person. Is her head glued on
Well,
to there?
she needs to be re-glued because she didn't make the move very
Okay,
good.
you know how people will talk to their audience? This is what I want to know. This is really what I want to know. Is she cute? Do you love her? Or is she creepy?
I'd say you'll get half and half.
Half and half?
Yeah.
Okay, and then...
She was a real baby doll. My friend Dave, he knew I wanted to make a pincushion like that. He was driving down a huge highway like Loomis Road, and he saw this baby doll laying at the side of the road. So he jumps out of his truck, runs and gets her. I have a picture of her in a diaper, and her hair was a mess, and that's what we did.
Okay.
Tiffany.
Okay.
So
Dolls always scared my kids, so maybe that's why I'm not...
I know. And Kelly got me hooked on floss drops, and I never to waste room behind the door. I got one of these, and so they have the numbers on them, so when I'm looking...
Now that's a great idea, because is that a spool holder for thread?
Yes,
Yes.
a spool throw. And I thought it was going to be bigger. I'd really like a pegboard, but it had to be something I could put up myself, so...
Well, and there's no reason you couldn't stack
The
those, like do
167,
another one underneath.
Yeah,
And
315 starts here, and you know.
so you have them
this-
all in order.
Yeah, and then this is from a one that I took apart, and I just put them there until I can get them put back where they belong. And if I need to, I can get another one and hang
Yeah.
it down here and add to it.
Isn't it fun just to see them and touch them? Okay,
I know.
before we head out and stop, you want to tell us about your little...
Oh, my miniatures?
Why is your R backwards?
Because it's a print.
Oh, okay. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. The R. Okay, now
Yeah,
I get it.
it's
Now I
a-
get it.
For printers.
Now these dolls are cute. Okay, these are cuter, but
Just little things that I found at antique shows. I used to go antiquing quite a bit. And I loved all sewing items and just little miniature albums. This is a spice rack that I purchased from Martha Stewart
ooh,
that had spices in it as a gift for an ex-boyfriend. When he moved away, he said, you know, I've never used any of the spices. Would you like this? Well, I threw all the spices away, and I thought this would be a great place for all of my miniatures.
all these little treasures remind me of what Vicky from Needlework Press posts, all these good little things that make us happy. What is that? Is that on music?
No, it winds up and it moves.
Oh, it's an actual thing?
Yeah. Its legs rotate.
Oh, kind of like a little robot?
Yeah.
Anyway, just precious everything. Okay, let's, okay, Rita, we're saying our goodbyes
Goodbye,
to
everyone.
the folks. Thanks you guys so much for coming to Black Thread Studio today and coming with me to see Rita. We're gonna go stitch because that's what today's all
Yes.
about, right?
And we'll see you soon again after the quilt show we're going to.
Oh, Rita's all about it. She was so
Yes.
nervous because she hasn't done a recording before, but I think she's a little pro.
Oh.
And I don't know about you, but I'm gonna have cheese curds and stitch.
I might have a vodka.
Okay, this is why we're friends. Say bye, Rita.
Bye, Rita.
Bye. Bye.